What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward. Let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer is very soon, in just about 12 days from now. Anyways, now I just want to mention that Tesla has a bit of a downtrend over here. It's been respected, but we're still holding this range right over here. We have this range we watched for around 246 is now going to be our key support area. We still have this resistance in the very, very low 250s. So I am seeing some weakness building on Tesla's. We are technically downtrending a bit, but just know that the real move is going to happen next week with earnings. And for now, we are still kind of slowing down a little bit. So I think Tesla may remain range bound for a little bit longer before we get a big move next week. Now, some news has come out that Tesla's once again planning on redesigning their wheel covers for the Cybertruck. Pretty cool stuff right over here. It's been a while since we actually heard about this, so cool stuff. And we're going to be looking for a new update very soon. There's also news coming out that Tesla's once again implementing Model S and Model X price increases in the US and Canada. Not the best of news. Now, what's basically happening is with the increases, the Model S AWD starts at about $75,000 before options in the US for Model Plaid ended up starting at about 90,000. So that's actually very, very important. There's also some news right over here about how there have been slight increases here and there. Obviously, the Plaid is like really, really popular. Still has very, very cool things. And the Model X AWD also qualifies for the federal tax credit. So that's something else that's worth noting. We're also seeing the same thing going on in Canada. There's also been a price increase of about 6,000 Canadian dollars. With this happening, it's not the best of news, but this is happening for many different reasons. I just wanted to call this out because with Tesla doing this, this may affect demand to some extent, and we'll have to see if Tesla maintains its very, very strong amounts of sales. This could be also because of their margins. So there's all these different reasons as to why this is happening. Hopefully, their sales remain intact very, very well, and I hope for the best nonetheless. I did see some negative news which came out yesterday. It's still making headlines today about how sales in California are kind of falling a little bit. It's like 3 months in a row. They're actually down about 24% for in the second quarter. And then we're also starting to see some talk about how they're down again, like 3 months in a row. Despite that happening, guys, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, California is not all there is to Tesla sales. I actually kind of accounted for this in my last video, but I just wanted to mention this is very important. For this year so far, they're down about 17%. But don't forget that there's high interest rates and other factors like that affecting them. Things will be fine for the long term for Tesla, so don't worry too much. Now, for news about the markets, we just have Williams and Boston giving speeches for today. There's not really a whole lot else coming out. And don't forget that SPY has a lot of puts expiring. There's also been a lot of news coming out about how Microsoft has this massive, massive outage, which is linked to CrowdStrike, taking down computers all over the world when it comes to IT systems. So this is going to be affecting TV stations, lots of airlines, lots of hotels, and the list goes on. With this happening, this is actually some very negative news. So we'll have to see if they can try to fix these issues as soon as possible. We'll have to see what the cybersecurity sector ends up saying about this. American Express just announced its earnings. I'll have the next calendar for next week coming out in a couple of hours, guys. Amex lifts its 2024 profit forecast, which is not bad whatsoever. There's been a lot of robust spending from these customers being on EPS and revenue, so not bad whatsoever. Anyways, that's it for news. Now let's just focus on the charts. I know I've been going on for a while about that. So with the charts, okay, Tesla has this key support right over here. I'm going to be eyeing. So we're basically trying to hold very close to this 246 area. We had 247.5 to 246. This range is our support. If this were to fail, if Tesla were to lose this support zone like right here, then I'd be looking at 242 as our potential target way down here. For resistance, make sure you watch this 250 range. That's where we have our 50 and 200 EMAs in the 30 minutes time frame. If we were to break through these, there is potential for us to go all the way up to this imbalance towards 254. So what Tesla does love to do historically is kind of pump in the mornings. We do typically do that, but there was some negative news that came out in the morning. So we will see if Tesla attempts to go a little higher. Might try to retest these EMAs in the 250 area. We'll see if Tesla could break this or not. If we come short of trying to break this 250 area, then there could be a little dip coming first, and we could see a little bit of weakness in the share price back to about the mid to 240s, and we might just see some more consolidation. So Watch this test of these EMAs. We're going to likely try to pop a little upon open. If it breaks this, we could go a little bit higher to try to fill this imbalance towards 254. But if we fail to break these EMAs right here, then it could just be a lower highs established and a little bit of a dip and some more consolidation for Tesla, which I find to be very, very probable. There's also some news coming out for SPY. I just wanted to mention that right now. Like I said in my earlier video, SPY would try to rebound just a little bit upon open. We have a double bottom like structure. So it is possible SPY tries to retest 555, tries to go a little bit higher, but watch and see if we establish a lower high and reject to go lower, or if we break through that. But like I said, look for a little push on SPY upon open. We technically have a double bottom like structure, which could lead to some more upside. But just for confirmation, watch and see if we establish a lower high at 555 and reject, or if we break through this and go back up to 558. Overall, SPY has an interesting looking structure. We also have two critical supports I called out yesterday, which are going to be 552 is one support, but then there's 550.5 as a critical support alongside 548.5. If we lose any of those two, that's going to be a sign of weakness on SPY, so just be careful. Look for a little rebound and watch the reaction at 555. For Nvda, like I said in my video, we're kind of range bound on Nvda. We saw a lot of buyers trying to defend it on the 4-hour time frame at its key level, so like right over here. A lot of buyers defended at its 200 EMA. Our resistance is going to be very close to about this 222 area, almost 223, very close to where our 4-hour 20 EMA happens to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of dip a little bit on Nvidia. We make an attempt to go back and we just kind of shuffle for a little bit. If we manage to break 223, though, I think we could fill the gap to 125. It's a 123 gap, and the 125 would be our target. So we'll see if it tries to break out towards there or not. But I think it's just going to shuffle in this range for now. We're just kind of range bound on Nvidia. That's all I'm really seeing for the time being. Bitcoin's trying to rebound a bit, but look at 65,000 as resistance. If we break through that, we could try to push even higher. But if we reject and we fail to hold at 65,000, we're going to be coming back down. So watch and see a test of 65K, and then that could have a big effect on the markets. QQQ is also attempting to rebound just a bit. We're fighting 480. If we break through that, I'll be looking for this imbalance to fill towards 484. If we lose 480, we'll be dipping down to this wick towards 478. So I think that there is a potential move to the upside that could be coming for the QQQ if we manage to hold above some key levels. I am a little concerned about Microsoft, though. That is, it's going to be selling off a bit, which could be a little negative. So I don't expect this to just blast to the upside. I do think it could try to pop a little bit higher if we could try to hold above 480, and then we could continue from there. But if we reject and fail to hold above 480, we'll be dipping back down towards 476. And if that doesn't hold, 472 is coming next. So look for a little rebound attempt and see if we establish a lower high. If we do so, there could be a big rejection coming if we fail to hold. And if we fail to hold above 480, look for more downside, a retest of our lows from yesterday. For Apple's trying to rebound, but look at 226.36 as resistance. If we break that, 228 is coming next. And if you reject here, we're going to be tipping all the way down towards basically close to about 222. So I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case. I'm going to be very, very open-minded nonetheless. For the IWM, we're kind of shuffling right over here at 218. If this breaks through, we'll be looking for basically this 220 area. And if we fail to hold 218, we'll be looking for a big rejection, a little bit of a dip. So I'll be watching to see. We actually have this gap to fill on the IWM, so I do see a risk of 213. If we fail to hold above 218, look for 213. And if we hold above this, we're going back up to 220. So watch and see just to be safe. Just hold those levels in mind. Amzn on a bit of a downtrend, still looking very weak. Look at this 180 area. If we hold, if it fails to hold this, we're going all the way down to about 178. Eventually, lower levels. So it's still looking more bearish to me. Meta is trying to rebound. We're currently testing 480's resistance. We could go a little higher towards 484. I still see potential in that, but then we'll see if we reject or not once we get closer to 480 to 484. So I do see a little attempts to push. At the very least, 480 should come 480, if not 484. But like I said, watch us if you reject or not off that area. Microsoft is dipping quite a bit. I think it might dip even more with the negative news that has come out. We'll have to see how well we try to hold at this 434 area. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to fall to about 428 and into the 420s. Lastly, we have Google attempting to rebound as we're holding our 200 EMA. Watch and see if we can try to get back to about 182. I think it might push a little higher, and then we'll see if we reject or not. So I'm going to be watching this at least very, very carefully. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Just know that for Tesla, there's a little bit of a downtrend right over here that's been established, and I think it may continue like this. So we'll have to see how well this goes. Just know that so far, as far as Tesla goes, we want to be very patient. Don't worry too much about the move because earnings comes out next week. Okay, and usually we get the big move the week of earnings. So for now, there might just be a lot of consolidation, a lot of chop. I'm not too worried about what happens today, so I just want to keep that in the back of my mind. All right, have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.